Goalkeepers, nervous strikers, they'll deliver. Crowd roars erupted, you can feel the quake. 80,000 voices.
Hello there, Nigerian football fans, fans of the Nigerian Super Eagles, and football fans everywhere. The question in the last hours has been, is Ethan Nwaneri set to play for the Nigerian Super Eagles? According to the leaked reporter, the Nigerian Sports Commission have begun talks, with Ethan Nwaneri's family to get into coming to playing for, the Nigerian Super Eagles. For me, I think that's a good move. That would be nice to see him play for Nigerian Super Eagles because I think he is one of the best youngsters at the minute, and I think he would add a lot to Nigerian Super Eagles. Now, there's something that struck me because when I saw the post on X or Twitter, however you choose to call it, I went and looked at the comments, and the comments were just filled with, annoying, ignorant comments by Nigerians. No, not you heard me right. By Nigerians. Stupid comments by Nigerians. Why should you play for Nigeria? You should leave him alone. How about the home-based players? Have you ever, each time you want to beg dual nationals to play for the Nigerian Super Eagles, why don't you promote young players? And for me, that is really, really sad. Now, everyone is entitled to their opinion. You have the right to your opinion. I have the right to my opinion because, after all, these are an opinions game, it's an opinions business, and as humans, we can't think the same. But I ask this question to you. How many Nigerian grassroots players have you wanted to play for the Nigerian Super Eagles? Have you wanted Ari Parabo to play for the Nigerian Super Eagles? Have you talked about him? Have you propped him up? Have you wanted him to be given game time for the Super Eagles? How about Onyebuchi Obasi? How about Igor Ogbu, that's 24 years old? Have you wanted him to play for the Nigerian Super Eagles? Have you supported his inclusion? And now you come up with all this sort of just pure ignorant statements. Pure ignorant and silly statements. You don't want him to play for the Nigerian Super Eagles. He should play for England. You're an Arsenal fan, or you want your Arsenal boy to play for England, and you're a Nigerian. And then when he gets to the World Cup qualifiers, you'll be screaming at your TV. When he gets to the AFCON, you'll be screaming at your TV. Tell me how that makes sense. I need you to tell me, how does that make sense to you? You want him to play for a different country when you support the Nigerian Super Eagles, and you then will be watching the game and you'll be losing your mind if Nigeria isn't playing well, if chances are being missed, if chances are not being created. It's one thing if you don't care about Nigerian Super Eagles, that's left to you. That's your choice. And then maybe when international games come on, you chill out somewhere and are not bothered. But you support the Super Eagles. You want them to win games. You sit down and you watch the team play. You scream at your TV. You lose your mind. You don't eat if the team loses. But yet, when a top-class player or a player with enormous potential, when there is the possibility that he could play for Nigeria, you are against it. So what are you talking about? Now, you may end up not playing for Nigeria. It's possible. It's quite possible. That's what I've always said. When it comes to dual nationals, that's the only time a football player has the ability, is in that position to choose the country he plays for. Because otherwise, for most players who are mono-nationals, what happens is once you're in, you can only play for England. Once you can only play for Nigeria. Once you can only play for Ghana. If the FA of that country invites you, you play for them. If they don't invite you, you're stuck where you are. So ever so often, you have these players that are eligible to play for multiple countries. It's left for each FA, each sports administration to do their utmost to get that top-rated player to play for their country. And then people come and start putting out all these negative comments. And then, you know what's funny? A similar sort of post was put out by a different outlet saying Thomas Tuchel would like Ethan Nwaneri to play for England. And then you go to the comments, you're seeing people say, "Oh, he's been on excellent form for Arsenal. it's good that Thomas Tuchel is considering him. And then you see Nigerians there as well. Oh, good luck, you play for England. What manner of defeatist mentality is that? What level of defeatist mentality is that? You know, oh, the other day I was talking about a player who's eligible to play for Belgium and to play for Nigeria. Nwaneri Steinberg. Oh, some people come up, oh, Belgium, they want him to play for them, so I don't think Nigeria can get him. What level of defeatist mentality is that? What level of low self-esteem kind of thought process is that? I've said this before. If you don't care about the international game, you only care about your club side. Fine, perfect. But most of these people talking would lose their minds if Nigeria fails to qualify for the World Cup. Would lose their minds if Nigeria fails to get to the AFCON final. But when you're each time a fresh face, you know, is being sought after or is being invited to play for a Nigerian Super Eagles, you see people saying silly things, in my opinion. Now, and this does not only apply to dual nationals. It applies to just any fresh face that is not the old players, that are not old players like Ahmed Musa or Kelechi Iheanacho that are not performing at the minute. So if we say Igor Bu, oh, he's 24-year-old, why should he start? Why should he play? If you talk about Arik Parabo, oh, he's too young, why should you? Why do you want to invite him? Oh, let him go and play for the under-20s first. There's always an excuse, always an excuse. Always an excuse. Let me tell you, this issue of dual nationals or players with multiple nationality, every federation in the world, they do their utmost to get players of top quality to play for them. Whether it's the Spanish FA, the English FA, the Italian FA, they do their utmost to get the best players to play for them. But each time we see a fresh face being linked to the national team of the Super Eagles, see people coming up with silly takes, in my opinion. Because what should concern you as a Nigerian is Nigeria winning the AFCON, Nigeria winning the World Cup, if possible. And how would this happen? By getting the best available players to play for you, the best Nigerian eligible player to play for you. It's not having an Ahmed Musa that should be the sports minister by now playing for you. It's not by having a Kelechi Iheanacho that has forgotten where the back of the net is to play for you. It's not that. You see someone who's past his best, you keep saying his experience. He's an experienced player, but he can't do anything on the pitch. You want him in the national team setup. But you see any young, exciting talent? Scratch that. Any exciting talent. It could be 27-year-old, it could be an 18-year-old. As long as it's a new face, there's always an excuse. There's always the excuse that comes up. I think I've said this on a previous video, and I say it to other people off camera. It's time Nigeria becomes obsessed with winning. Forget about all these silly excuses. Sometimes people talk about, the leadership of the country. Is every country perfect? Is England perfect? Is Spain perfect? Is Germany perfect? And you say, African countries can convince players to play for them. Morocco has been doing it. Congo has been doing it. So what happens? For me, I think if this is indeed true, if the Nigerian Sports Commission are indeed serious about, contacting him and his family and everybody who is involved to get him to play for a Nigerian Super Eagles, brilliant. And anyone who does not like that, that is your business. That means you do not like Nigeria. That is it, simple. And you don't have to. You can be a Nigerian and don't like the Super Eagles. I don't have any problem with you. Because after all, at the end of the day, it's just football. You can decide to just chill and not be bothered about the Nigerian Super Eagles. But for me, what is weird for me is, come March 21st, come March 25th, you will scream your head off. You will scream your head off when we're playing Rwanda, when Super Eagles is playing Zimbabwe. You will lose your mind. You will break your TV sets because someone missed the chance the team fail to play well. But when there's any talk of a player that can improve the team, playing for the team, you start coming up with silly takes. Why I say it's a silly take is, if you're someone that champions the grassroots in Nigeria, like Arik Porabo, or give him game time, and Promise Melega, give him game time, you're pushing for these players, then I get your point. Then I can say, oh yeah, okay, I get your point. Focus on the grassroots in Nigeria, you're propping these players up. But a lot of people doing this putting arguments about, don't even support any of these grassroots players. How many of them know about the TTC competition, the Greatest Championship? How many of them know about it? How many of them know about the grassroots clubs? None of them. But they like coming up with all this defeatist silliness. Yeah, you can support Arsenal. You can support Liverpool. You can support whatever club you support. But end of the day, when it comes to playing for your national team, support your club side. But oh, my Arsenal boy, he shouldn't play for Nigeria, he should play for England. What silly defeatist mentality is that? Oh, each time an European country is involved in the issue, oh, this European country is involved in it, oh, we can't get a player. Come off it. We've seen examples, we've seen case studies of African countries being able to get players with dual nationalities to play for them. We've seen Morocco, we've seen Congo, we've seen Algeria. So enough of this defeatist mentality. I don't care about it. I don't care for it. I do not care for it. This is silliness. So at this point, I've come to the end of this video. I don't know what your thoughts and opinions are. Leave them in the comment section, and I'll get to look at them, and I will respond to them. Believe me, I read the comments, and I like to see what your opinions are. In the end, this is an objective discussion. You give your opinion, I give mine. But for me, before I leave you, I'll leave you with this. If you want Nigeria to win, Nigerian Super Eagles, to win tournaments they compete in, and you don't want them to get the best players that can possibly get, then that's weird to me. That's weird to me. So I've come to the end of this video. I'll see you on yet another video. Do have a spectacular rest of your day. Stay well and stay blessed. Bye-bye.